everybody. Let's try that again. Here, let's come up with some original witty banners so that way we can cold open on. There it was! Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What Have I Done Debate from the future. Nah, I'm just kidding, because somebody, namely both of us, are at fault for not doing the episode like we promised ourselves to give ourselves more time to play Tears of the Kingdom, which is out right now, and we should honestly be playing it instead of doing one of these episodes. But you know what? The American people need something to listen to while they play Tears of the Kingdom, or else they're gonna go insane, because everything is exactly the same. So, here's your little piece of differentiation in the tides of, oh, here's a fucking Korok with a backpack. I'm gonna put like 1,000 rockets on it and see where it goes.
Oh yeah, Real
hilarious.
Quick, this episode is going to be full of spoilers.
This episode is going to be almost exclusively a Tears of the Kingdom spoiler fest. Of course, I don't think either of us have made it like super far in terms of like the main game, but if you don't want to be spoiled for like mechanics and shit and like story. Oh, I haven't done a lot of the story. I've just been dicking around. Well, anyway, if you just don't want general spoilers, which, I mean, you might not want, because this game is legitimately so good that it's basically like the third book of the Bible that everybody's been waiting for. That's how good it is.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't usually play that many video games. I never play video games no more. But this one has completely got my attention. Like, I love it. I love it. It's awesome. It's such a good game.
I mean, yeah, it's like there's like not a single imperfection with the game. Right now, I'm going to pull up the screenshot. This is for the audience. If you're listening, look at the screen right now. I'm showing an image of what it looked like on Friday, how long I played the game. Mark, if you remember this image, which it's not pulled up right now for us, but you know, the hours, 12 hours and 25 minutes. Now, there's something special about this amount of time, because for the keen listeners...
Was that your first day?
That was my first day. And for keen listeners, you might remember a certain number called how many hours are in a day, which equals about 24, if I'm correct. 24. So here's a fun fact. I spent the majority of Friday, May 12th, playing Tears of the Kingdom. Not sleeping, not doing anything else, just playing Tears of the Kingdom. And it was goddamn worth it. And as much as I would like to talk more about Tears of the Kingdom, we unfortunately, actually, I wouldn't say unfortunately, I would say very fortunately, we have one topic to discuss aside from that. There's been a long-running segment that we had to retire due to lack of evidence, but triumphantly, it is returning for what might possibly be the final time.
Cashwatch!
We got Cashwatch, baby! It's coming back. It's coming back for the last time, perhaps. And it is what a time to be watching that cash, all right? If you want to be pocket watcher on that bag daily, this is your number one news source. For those of you who aren't in the loop, Dr. Stephen P. Cashman, everyone's favorite Penridge High School principal from 2019 to 2023, and that is definite. He got a DUI, and we all made fun of him because it's really funny. And we heard nothing from him. He hadn't shown up. We heard he was on leave, but we didn't know where he went. But I am here to break it to you. As many people who are listening right now and didn't listen to the song, that's okay. I'm breaking it to all of you right now. We have officially received word that Dr. Cashman has resigned. And if you don't believe me, well, buddy, just you wait, because I am scrolling through my infinite emails to find the one that my mom forwarded to me. Jesus Christ. You know the worst part about having an email address ever since 3rd grade? I literally get like emails from everything. I mean, fucking.
Did you use your school email for everything?
No, this is like my personal email that I set up in 3rd grade.
Okay.
It like right now I'm looking at I get these emails for like I don't even know, they like make up names. This is from Lisbeth S. Well, it's also from VHAZYMERI. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But right above it, we have from my mom an announcement from PHS families. Dear Penridge High School community, and it brings me great joy to read this to all of you, Dr. Steve Cashman has resigned from his position as high school principal effective May 5th, 2023. The search to find the next principal at Penridge High School will begin this week. We thank Dr. Cashman for his hard work and dedication to Penridge High School and wish him well in his future adventures. Please continue to reach out to your child's house principal if you need anything. Sincerely, David. This is David A. Bolton, ED.D, the superintendent. Can you Believe it. We have
Could you
lost.
forward that email to me real quick?
I can forward that email to you right now. What email would you like me to send it to?
I will. I don't want my email on the podcast, so I'm just gonna send it in general real quick.
All right. Oh my God. Bigfootlover@gmail.com. Okay. I mean, if you want, at gamermail.sex. All right. I just forwarded it to you. So now you can revel in the glory. If there was a way that I could forward it to every person in the audience right now, you know that I would, because I think everyone deserves to see this. Oh shit, 2 games from my wish list are on sale. What the fuck? I already own these games. They're showing me that Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are on sale. I own both of these fucking
Milo
games.
Roxington. Hello?
Yep. I thought you were going somewhere with that.
No, I was just saying your name.
Let's see. What are these guys that keep fucking sending me PDFs of, like, nonsense? Actually, probably shouldn't download a PDF off of.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Every Town for Gun Safety, The Ghost of My Machine, Coke Studio, Moyer
Oh,
G,
I have another bonus topic we can do.
Oh, boy. I hope it's about, like, should we laugh at Dr. Cat? Should we go check out Dr. Cashman's court date? I kind of want... Have you ever watched Jay Aubrey?
No.
Oh, shit. He's like a YouTuber that makes, like, retrospective videos on like, internet lolcows. And I kind of want to make one, like, a video about Dr. Cashman in that style.
Dude, stop beating a dead horse.
No! He's still alive, goddammit! It's funny!
No, but the situation is just dead. It's over. Leave it alone.
Bit, yeah. But it's funny.
Steven Crashed Man was funny, but that has to be the end of it.
It probably is the end of it. I don't know what else we could talk about. I mean... Unless he becomes like a drunk and like starts like lampooning everybody, which would be hilarious. I want to see the Cashman downfall arc, but I'm kind of doubtful.
We already did. What do you think this year has been?
I don't know. I want to see it. I want to see him come back and like start berating everybody. Okay. Well,
anyway, our main topic.
Yes.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Back to what is possibly the greatest experience of my life. Tears of the motherfucking Kingdom, baby. Oh. Mark, can we just get some initial feelings? What happened? May 12th, give me a play-by-play. How was that day?
I woke up and I launched the game because I really just wanted to see how they transitioned from Breath of the Wild into Tears of the Kingdom. And basically it was exactly how I expected from the trailers. It is Link and Zelda like exploring what's called the gloom under the castle. And then Ganondorf is there, and bro really says, like, haha, fuck you, I'm awake. Like, I've been down here this whole time, and you didn't even know. Like, you fought me above me. Like, you fought Calamity Ganon before I was even there.
See, that's what really confused me. I really thought, up until this morning, that Tears of the Kingdom took place before Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah, we had to... is my mic loud?
I don't know. It sounds fine to me.
Okay. Well, anyway... I turned it down a little bit because I feel like Audacity was capping out. So, Mila and I were talking this morning, and it turns out that she was gravely mistaken at when. You
want to know why? You want to know mainly why I thought it took place beforehand? First of all,
not really.
Like, that was. Well, wow. Okay, buddy. This is a show that we do where we talk. So if you didn't want to hear me talk, you should have picked something else. Well, okay, here's the main thing. Here's the main reason why I thought that it took place at a different time. First of all, I thought that the Great Calamity, like, because the way Breath of the Wild ended, I just kind of assumed the Great Calamity was just how it ended, like, where nothing really was resolved. Second of all, I was confused by the whole, like, okay, I really thought that the way that the fucking towers looked, they looked so much older. Like, I just assumed that, like, since there are no ancient guardians or whatever, I assumed that this was, like, before the guardians were made, and then by the end of the game, we'd see all of the guardians get made, and then Link would get captured in the thing. I thought Tears of the Kingdom was a prequel this whole time, and boy, do I feel dumb.
That's actually not bad logic. I actually, if I didn't, like, have a brain, I'm kidding. But no, I see what you're saying. I see how that can fit together pretty easily.
Now, obviously, I guess it doesn't make a lot of sense because Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, that game is supposed to take place before the Great Calamity.
Yeah, why would you make two prequels?
It would be weird to have two games that are completely different. Have you played Age of Calamity, by the way?
I have not. I have not even considered it. It looks different than the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom I'm used to, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a Warriors-type game, which I'm not really a fan of. I own the game, and I've probably played it for about 10 or so hours. It's probably one of my most regretted purchases in terms of video games. I mean, like, not to knock the Warriors series, but it's just like, I don't know, I don't really get into it. It's not that fun. Like, basically all you do is you walk around and there's a large amount of enemies and you just, like, swing. It's just a beat-em-up. And I fucking hate beat-em-ups. If you ever watch Getting the Most Out of Switch Online, like, any episode, because they almost always are fucking beat-em-ups, you'll hear it. You'll hear my fucking aversion to walk this way, hit the button, fall down, get up, be invincible for a little bit, hit a bunch of people. It's just such an annoying gameplay loop. But I like the aesthetic of it because, you know, it's Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, it's Zelda, Breath of the Wild. But Tears of the Kingdom, that's the real game we fucking wanted. And it's here. Oh, man. You know what? I will say this. Okay, maybe I'm a bit of a doomer. But for everybody in the audience, I'll just a little bit of a preface. I didn't go to school on Friday. I mean, you could probably tell by the screenshot. Show it again, everybody. It's 12 hours, so obviously I didn't get much else done during that time. So I was up at midnight at like 12:02 a.m. That's when it unlocked, and I was like, holy shit, here it comes. And I will say, initially, I was very scared because I was getting a little tired. I was getting a little cranky. I was like, oh no, what if this game I've been hyping up for like 3 fucking years falls flat on its face? You know, like, not to knock Nintendo. I love Nintendo. They make a lot of great games, but I will say their track record as of recently hasn't always been the best. I mean, they haven't really released any, like, large, you know, like, Zelda game. Like, I think, like, the most recent big game they released was, like, you know, Splatoon 3 or something. But just the way that they make games now is, like, and this is mostly for, like, sports games, but they, like, release the game unfinished, and then, like, every 2 months or so, they add, like, a little bit of content, and it's just, like, the way that it does, it, like, by the time the game's actually done, like, nobody even plays it anymore. So I was, like, kind of scared that they would do that, even though there was, like, no inclination. Obviously, if you're paying... Again, this game was $10 more, so I was expecting a lot more, and I think I got a lot more out of it. But I will say, like, the first 2 hours of the game really didn't help my fears, because the game starts out really slowly. You're just walking through, like, a hallway and, like, looking at shit. Mark wasn't even paying attention. I just saw him put his headphones back on.
Yeah, hold on. Can I be right back?
Yes.
Sorry, I was listening right before. I'll be right back.
Okay, see where he goes.
Okay, I'm back.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Just something.
His floor was upheaved in the great upheaval.
Okay, so what were you saying?
I was saying that from the first game, not from the first game, but, like, from the first hour, the game starts really slowly with you just, like, in a hallway, walking, like, looking at shit. Like, very, very, like, slow start. And I was like, oh no, what if this game is like RPG and you just walk around sometimes? And then we got to the thing, and I was like, oh man, I'm on the island now. Like, this game's looking pretty fun. But, of course, it's tutorial, and tutorials are always abysmally slow, and you don't even have all your abilities yet. So, you know, when I was dipping my toes in the water, I was getting kind of scared. I kind of have this thing with most games I play, where, like, for, like, the first half hour or so, I'm not really having a lot of fun. Same thing happened with Splatoon 3, the same thing happened with Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, it's what happens when you get a new game. You're like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But almost as soon as I dropped down from the sky, I was ready. I was fucking excited. It's great plateau, really, like, IRL.
See, I really hated the disc continuity.
The disc continuity? What do you mean?
So, everything Sheikah, like the towers, the shrines, I don't like that they're just, like, wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, it was really confusing. I'm like, where are they? I mean, like, because, like, here's the thing, like, in the first part of the game, you know, you're walking through that hallway, and you see, like, a pile of rubble, and my first thought is, oh, this is where I'm gonna get the bomb ability, because that's how you break this thing open.
Yeah.
In the last game, in the old games, when you see that bomb wall, you know you're supposed to throw a bomb at it. That goes back to fucking original Zelda. So, like, the fact that you don't, like, there are no fucking bombs in this game is kind of sad. I miss, because there's so many, like, it's weird, because I feel like this game is so much better equipped for bombs. Like, there are so many more times in the game when I'm like, man, I wish I had a remote bomb right now. Like, because there's usually bigger groups of enemies, and, like, it just feels like a bomb would do really good there in that situation. You just don't have one.
Yeah, but, like, okay, so they didn't, like, there's nothing in the story that says where it went. I'd be happy if there was something in the story that says where it went, but no, it's just gone. Like, even if, like, they were all there and they were just, like, deactivated or something, that would be, like, so much better in terms of, like, being a Breath of the Wild player than switching to Tears of the Kingdom. Because,
Yeah,
you saw all of them appear in Breath of the Wild.
yeah, you do. So it is weird to like just have them all gone. Which like is
And-
another thing because like the map is like marginally different. Like the layout is still basically the same, but like everything looks like if you took the map of Breath of the Wild and handed it to somebody else to draw. Like you can tell that it's based off of the one thing, but it's clearly not the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, even if they had like gone back into the ground or something, I feel like that would have been better.
Yeah, I mean maybe we're supposed to be led to believe that they did go into the ground and it was just happened off camera.
See, but also the thing is, what happened to the Sheikah Slate?
Zelda still has it, right?
No, she never had the Sheikah Slate. She had the what's it called? What's the new thing?
Purapad, the Purapad.
Yeah. That.
I thought in Breath of the Wild she was the one with the Sheikah Slate.
Yeah, she was.
So I thought she had the Sheikah Slate in this game, and we just got Purapad.
No, she had the Purapad, and then
yeah, doesn't she like give it to you in the beginning of the game? Like
yeah.
I'm not here. I hate that she's British. I wish they made her American.
We should make a mod.
Why does everybody else sound normal, and then she's like, Link, you have to save me, Link. Like what? Why? Everybody else talks normal.
Oh, okay, so you know how there's like the difference between cutscenes and like the bubble text?
Uh-huh.
I like that sometimes there's like voice lines for bubble text.
Yeah, I like this game is definitely more voice acted than the old one.
I was secretly like super hopeful for a voice acted Link.
What do you mean? Like what would you want
I don't know.
it to sound like?
Do you know how many problems could be solved if Link like spoke?
Like, well, he does like speak sometimes. Like it, like
yeah, he does that weird
anything,
thing with his arms where he explains
he,
things, but you never hear him speak.
Happening.
I don't know.
What do you want him to say? What do you want him to say? What do you think?
No, I feel like just like everything could go so much better if this guy said like, so I'm doing the Rito mission, right? And I feel like thing could be.
I've not even started.
Well, anyway, I'm trying to buy the like, what's it called? Well, I've already bought now, but I was trying to get the like frost protect clothes.
Because it's too cold.
Yeah, and I feel like I didn't need to spend all that money. I feel like I could have just said, "Hey, I'm Link, nerd. I'm saving your village from a blizzard. You think I could get some payment and just get some of these clothes?"
The game wouldn't have been as fun if you could have just been like, "Hey, can I have this for free?"
No, credibility. You saved the world.
I mean, by that logic, why is anybody charging you for anything? Why don't they just give you everything off the bat? Because
that's what I'm saying.
Save it.
Dude, when do these people start paying Link? Like, when do the comms close?
Why would why? That like takes all the fun out of the game. Like the whole point is exploring.
I can still explore. I would just like to do that with clothes.
Then save up for the clothes, bitch.
Okay, so you know the Zora, right?
The fish fellers.
Yes. So, you fix their water supply, right?
You get all the mud out of there.
Yeah, you fight the Muckrock. You get all the mud out of there. And what do you get in return? A promise?
Yeah, not a threat. A promise. I think you also get like a weapon and like a and when you defeat the boss you get a heart container. So
yeah, but that's not the Zora paying me. That was just like in its guts.
Well, they could have taken it for themselves and they didn't, so that was nice.
Do they have a need for heart containers?
Well, yeah, they need to be stronger too, don't they?
No.
Okay, buddy.
Sidon is perfectly strong just how he is.
Is he your king?
Are you body shaming Sidon?
No.
Cancel my
Okay, let's talk about something more real and substantial. There is one thing that is a universal truth, and that there are 4 or so new abilities to this game that have never been seen before, never even been dreamed before, I'll say that much. And that's the main topic of today's episode. What is the best ability that you could do with your right hand? What's the best thing you can do with your right hand, Mark?
I like Ascend.
Ascend is such a bad choice. I'll say it right here, right now. Because all my real
between that and Ultra Hand.
Tears of the Kingdom heads, you'll know that Ultra Hand is the only basest ability. It's the only not bad ability.
Did you just say Fuse is bad?
No. Fuse is... Here's the thing about Fuse. Here's what I'll say about Fuse. Fuse is like it's weird because it's such a necessary thing, but it feels so forced. Like, I'm like... Because it basically... Like, I feel like it's one of the only ones you can't play the game without, you know? Like, if you're not using Ultra Hand, you could figure out something else, you know, if you're going to use Ascend and Recall and whatever to do something else, like the opposite. But fuse is like necessary. Like it's such an integral part of the game, but like not really like always. I mean, okay. I'm in the wrong here. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Fuse is actually the best because I remembered that you can fuse a spring to a shield and then shield surf and it'll bounce and it is amazing. So forget.
Oh
I
yeah,
said
you
anything.
can fuse a. I'm not saying this to you, Milo, because you already know this. But I'm telling the audience here, you can fuse a minecart to a shield and you can ride the rails. I sent Milo a video of me doing it as I sung Even Flow. It was awesome. It was so cool.
Really but okay, here's what I will say about fuse is that for the most part you're not going to really be getting anything out of it. Like I wouldn't say it's underwhelming because there's so many fucking items in the game. Like most of them have like something. Like most of them have a gimmick. You know, like I would say the majority of like moblin horns and shit, like that just makes your weapon more powerful. But like you get like a wing thing or like an electric thing or a mushroom even will make it bounce. Do you remember the bouncy hammer from Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
If you fuse a mushroom to your weapon, it'll do the exact same thing, which is hilarious. So I just say keep extra weapons in your inventory just so you can fuse random shit to it because it is fun. Like one of my favorite things that I just figured out today is you can fuse a rocket to your shield. So when you hold the shield, it just rockets you upward. It's crazy. It's basically
oh, is that what that
Gale.
is?
Yeah. So
From the trailer?
Instead of Rivali's Gale, if you just fuse a rocket to your shield, you'll just go up like Rivali's Gale. Like it's basically the same thing, except you can do it like an infinite number of times. I've got like 30 of them in my inventory.
I haven't gotten rockets yet. How do you get rockets?
So the gumball machines, I don't remember what they're actually called. I think
That's how you get it, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure each gumball machine has like a different selection of items. I don't know if it ever changes, but I like it shows you if you click on them, like when they show up on the map, if you hover over it, it'll show you like what's in stock in the machine, so you can see what you can get.
Yeah, because I really want rockets, but I haven't found them yet.
I think it also has to do with like encountering them in the wild, like when you actually see them. I think that's when they start.
That's when they start to show up. Yeah.
Okay. I know we haven't I know we didn't really discuss the topic, but I just want to get everything out there. What is your favorite Zonai device?
Out of the ones I've experienced so far, I like the ones that well, I guess I'll say the wings.
Controversial opinion, I just can't get into the wings. I'm so bad at them. For whatever reason,
tricky.
I can't figure out how to make it even. Like, I mean, like, I just might not be trying them right, but like, I just feel like every time I've done it, like, I haven't gotten a good wing. It's just really hard. Now, the real best Zonai device, I will say, has gotta be, and I don't know, stop me if you've heard this one before, it's gotta be the motherfucking control stick. Have you encountered the control stick yet?
No. What?
Oh, okay. So the control stick basically makes the game go from good to amazing. So imagine you've got 4 little wheels, right, on a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Okay. So wheels, when you hit them, they roll forward, and that's about it. Or they roll whatever direction the arrow's pointing, and there you go. That's your car. You're like, wow, this is so cool. Yeah, cool. Maybe if this was 2015, oh, got him. But it's current year. It's like 8 years after that. In 8 years, there could be like 2 presidents. Think about that. That's crazy. So what you do is you pop one of these control sticks right into the middle of the fucking frame, and you stand on it, and Link is like, ha! And then all of a sudden, the wheels come to life, and you rotate your joystick. You rotate your joystick on his control stick till it moves, baby. You control the flow of the movement. And this doesn't
That's a thing?
Yes, that is how you control your cars. That is how you get your map traversing fucking big wheel coach motherfucker that goes all the way around. That is how I've been getting my good traversal done. Putting one of them motherfucking control sticks on there, then you don't have to just go forward. And this doesn't just work on on carts that you make. It works on wings. It works on. That's about it, as far as I figured out. I think it works on those like weird big giant floating boxes. It works on a lot of stuff. It basically turns your contraption into something usable, and it makes you feel like a genius, even when your designs suck.
Huh. I'll have to find some of those.
Yeah, you definitely will, because it makes, like, I swear to God, like, it's weird. Every single discovery in Tears of the Kingdom makes me think, like, I can't believe I've been playing this game without that. It just seems insane that I could possibly be playing this game without knowing blank.
Yeah. What other cool
Okay.
stuff have you done with like fuse and such?
Let's fuse. I fused shit. I'm thinking of one. I fused a cage to my shield. It didn't do anything, but I was so surprised I could do it. I got like overjoyed. This was like probably the first day of playing it. Did you know that they're like captured people and like they're in cages and you can like pick up the cage and they escape?
I didn't.
Oh, this was kind of funny actually. So what happened was I saw the guy in the cage and I picked it up with Ultra Hand, and there was like, you know, that little like dialogue box that shows up above their head when they say something short, and he goes, "I'm free," and then I put it back on him, and then I talked to him. He's like, "Huh, I could have sworn I was just free." I thought that attention to detail was funny because like I would have been fine if like I put it back on and he was like, "Oh, thank you for freeing me," like, because I would have understood that. But they went the extra mile to be like, "Oh man, I could have sworn I was free just a minute ago and now I'm not." But I got him out. He gave me like 50 rupees and I fused the fucking shield. I fused it to my shield, and I was just so overjoyed because I was like, I can't believe you could do that. That's hilarious.
What was I gonna say? There was something. Oh yeah, you can fuse TNT barrels to like throwable weapons, and then you can just throw them, and it's awesome.
Oh, that's genius. I never fused anything flammable because I was scared it would explode when I hit something. I didn't even thought about throwing it.
Yeah, I was doing
you
that
know-
in the Wind Temple today,
Oh.
and there was this one. I died the first time because I accidentally, when I was holding it, I held it over a flame, and then I exploded and died. But the second time I did it right, and I threw it at this Zonite construct, and it died.
You know, I just like one of my favorite things about this game so far is the way that it like teaches you indirect. Like whenever you come to experience a Zonite, like they're always fusing their own weapons. Like, and you can see how like Zonite shit actually works. Like they'll fuse like a beam emitter to like a stick, and they'll get a beam emitter sword. Or like you go to like a random like bokoblin or whatever, and it's got like something fused, and you're like, oh shit, like you could fuse those things together. And
Yeah.
like, that's another thing. Yeah, another thing I will say is when you start this game, it's a little frustrating if you don't have an open mind. Like, because things are gonna seem impossible just because you're gonna feel like your weapons are too weak, or like the game is too hard, or like even like the depths are too dark. But the thing about all of these is that there is a mechanic that you either might not have learned about it yet, or you just might not have put the pieces together yet. So like if you're early game and you're like, damn, this shit is hard, just try fusing something to your weapon. Odds are the reason that it feels like it's super hard is because your sword does like 5 damage, and you could easily just attach like a horn to it that you've collected that would make it do like 25 damage. I really like that. I love that fusing mechanic so much, because instead of it being like, oh man, I need to go, I went to Hyrule Castle, I got a bunch of Royal Guard weapons, I better not waste these because they're so strong. Now it's like, oh, I just defeated a strong enemy, and I'm rewarded by being able to make another strong weapon. You know, like how the fuse power from like a white bokoblin's horn is like 30. You know, it's even more powerful than a diamond, and diamonds are cool.
Have you fought any of the flux constructs?
What's a flux construct? I haven't heard of it.
They're the things that are like made out of blocks.
Oh yeah. Those things are fun as shit. I
know.
About those.
Like, I found it really easy, actually, the one I fought. You basically just like rip off the right
you
part.
give it the thug shaker.
Yeah, you give it the thug shaker, and then you just slap it, and eventually it dies. And it doesn't. It's really bad at attacking you.
I just like how Breath of the Wild, like Zelda games, I feel like especially, they do this really clever thing where they show you exactly what to do, but still make you feel really smart when you figure it out. Like when the box guy, when he like does his secondary attack, when he turns into like a giant floating cube and then drops the blocks down.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's probably a bunch of ways to tackle it, but what I do is when he throws them out, I get on top of one and then use recall so I go up to the top. And it's like, I feel like they expressly like want you to do that, but when I figured out like what to do, I just felt so smart. I was like, damn, I figured out what to do, and this boss is he's gonna feel my wrath. He's gonna incur my wrath.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. See,
Yeah,
I feel like I've contravened so many of like the intended solutions of this game already. I like that you can do that. Like, I feel like at least in Breath of the Wild, like even if you came up with another way that totally would have worked for what you were trying to do, they found some way to like block it. But in this game, they kind of just let you do whatever.
They really just said fuck it. Like, I think Breath of the Wild was like, here's a Zelda game, and then they saw how the audience reacted, and they're like, oh, you don't want a Zelda game, you want a fuck it game. And they're like, here's your fuck it game. You can fly in this game. Who cares? You can put whatever you want together. I'm sure, go nuts, you'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like sometimes there's probably like a couple shrines where they didn't even come up with a solution. They're like, they'll figure it out. They'll come up with something on how to fix this. One criticism that I think would be better for this game is my only real problem is like a lack of explanation. Like there's some things that just aren't explained. Like there's like a lot of things that you collect in the game that they're just not really told what to do. And if you go to an NPC, like random NPCs will give you tutorials on what you're supposed to do. But like just from the start of the game, like I had a bunch of like dark clumps and like zonite and fucking like Poe and like crystal charges. Like it's just a bunch of shit that like I don't know what it is, and like the description doesn't really tell you. But it's like once you get to a random NPC, they'll tell you what's up with it. It's just like I didn't know what it was until this point in time. So like it's just like obviously like I didn't waste it or anything. I had that gamer sense where I was like, well, I don't know what this is, but I should probably hold on to it just in case. I would appreciate it a lot more if they just told you upright, like when the thing comes up, like I don't know, maybe if somebody called you on your PurePad or like some message came up, just told you either what it was or who you could go to talk about it,
Right, there's no way in like where these people are starting to like actually have resources that they don't know this kind of stuff. Like
yeah, exactly. Like how they have like the character profiles or whatever, like that's the new thing of this game, which I love, but I think it would be cool if like you discover something and then like a little like notification would pop up in the corner, like blank has something to say to you about this. So at the very least you could like, and like if it doesn't, like I guess if it's somebody you haven't met yet, it could just like pop up as like a question mark thing and like maybe where to find them. Because I just like, I mean, yeah, it's like it's an early game problem, which I understand. Like I mean, I'm still like 40 hours into the game and I don't know everything, but like by the time I beat the game, I will know where everything goes and I will be able to doing. It's just like for right now, I'm a little confused, which I guess might be a good thing because that might be their goal. Because like I really do feel lost. I feel like Link does, I feel like I know just as much, if not less, than he does about like what's going on and where I am. And it also another like it's a counterbalance. Like I think a lot of the decisions they made, if they feel bad, I think like it came down to a lot of reasoning to be like, well, all in all, this is a good thing. Because one thing I think is like a huge upgrade is just talking to NPCs in this game. I feel like in the last game, you'd go to like a stable and you'd talk to an NPC and they're like, lovely weather we're having. And you'd go, yep. But like in this game, I feel like every NPC tells you something different. Like they all tell you something that you kind of want to hear. And you're like, oh shit. Like I think this is like, I don't think I ever did this in Breath of the Wild, but in Tears of the Kingdom, I would talk to somebody, and then I'd be like, wait, what did they just say? And I would read it again, just to make sure I can glean the exact information that I'm looking for out of it, just because I found it so important.
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom has been beaten in an hour and 34 minutes and 33 seconds already.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna look. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how long... I don't want to know how far I am in the game, because I don't want to have, like, a ticking time bomb of how much time I have left until I beat the game, Like,
I want this to be... any stories, so you're still pretty far out.
Well, I don't know how much is the story. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like Breath of the Wild where you only have like 3 main quests,
you go to like the 4 things, then that's it.
Yeah, you go to the 4th thing and the game's over, So I've gone to 2 of them and I'm like, am I halfway through the game? I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, which ones have you done? Oh, you did Goron, didn't you?
Yeah, I did Goron and Zora's Domain. I will say Zora's Domain was the first one I did, and I kind of wish I didn't do it first because it was kind of confusing and it didn't make me very excited for the game. I will say, like, it kind of dampened the mood a little bit, pun intended. I'll say that I didn't really know what I was doing and I didn't really know where to go for a lot of them. I feel like I didn't look it up. I got close to looking up what to do. And the one room, the one room where it's like when you shoot through the teardrop and it forms like a whirlpool and you go like down under.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, yeah, you need to like open all the grates so the water comes through. I like couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. I ended up just like cheesing my way to the top, like by like making a thing to climb and then just paragliding into it. I don't know if that was what you were supposed to do.
No.
But I was like, I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do, so I just flew in there. And like that was kind of bad because like that was really out of frustration than out of here's some creative way to solve it. Like, I was just like, I don't know what I'm fucking. But I feel like after that, like, I was kind of walking around more, and I was like, yeah, this game fucks. This game's fun. I think mainly, like, North Akala. Like, just the Akala region has been my favorite so far. I think I've explored almost every single inch of that. But not all of it, because I'm still looking for the fucking fierce deity, shit. Have you encountered Misko's, treasure troves or whatever?
No.
Do you remember Misko from the last game?
No.
So Misko it was Misko the Bandit. And this was how they, like, tied in the DLC. Did you have the DLC for the game?
I did.
So, yeah, Misko the Bandit was basically the way that you could get, like, all of the DLC armor, like the Tingle suit and, like, the weird high roll guard and shit. So you just got you got, like, a quest that was, like, here's where Misko's journal is, and he just wrote down a bunch of riddles as to where he kept a bunch of clothing. In this game, it's different. Where instead of that, so basically, what happened, I keep saying so basic stuff. What happened is the caves, which I gotta say, I love the caves so goddamn much. They're so beautiful, they're so much fun. It's like its own mini dungeon, except without puzzles. It's just like, you go through, it's like a dungeon crawler. Whoa, that's so fun. I love the Horriblins, they're so goofy looking, and I love the Bubles, or whatever they're called, that drop the Buble gems. Hilarious characters. Literally, top tier, and you collect all the Buble gems. Good shit, I will say. Great fucking shit. Great game! Okay, what was that? So the caves. Misko hid a bunch of shit in there. So some caves, they have like a treasure room where you can get an article of clothing, which is fun. And I'm trying to collect a bunch. But when you walk in, like, to encounter with NPCs, there are NPCs that are wearing, like, mushroom clothes, and they'll, like, mark it on your map where the shit is. Oh my god. You have 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I got one more thing I want to say before we actually talk about what the best fucking ability is. Okay, so favorite experience that you've had in the game so far. I'll go first. I'll say best experience in the game that I think you should do immediately after this episode. Go to the Akala region. Go to the beach. There is a mini boss battle where it's like the monster forces that shows up as a health bar, where you go to pirate ships. There are 3 pirate ships full of monsters that you can go fight in. And I swear, it's like, I saw it out in the distance. I was like, are those pirate ships? And I got up closer. I was like, holy shit, I'm on a fucking monster pirate ship. It was the coolest thing in the world.
That is
also
cool.
Also, the labyrinth in the Akala region was also a lot of fun. It went from on land to in the sky down to in the depths. It was a traversal experience, and I got like Ganondorf garment, which was cool. And I wear it everywhere because it looks like... Actually, I don't wear it because I found it better. Anyway, best experience you've had in the game so far. Best place, best thing, best whatever.
A best experience? Discovering more of the Sky Island and more Sky Islands separately. Like, there's one where the quest where you can, like, dive down these rings, and if you do it in less than 20 seconds, you get a really good item. And there's also, if you do it at all, you get a piece of clothing that helps you skydive better. Best place... Not sure what the best place is. I've liked the Zora's Domain mission, so I'm going to say, like, that whole series of Sky Islands for that mission was pretty cool. And what was the third part of the question?
I don't know. Best thing, I guess. Like, best weapon that you've come across.
Best weapon I've come across? If you kill a flux construct and you take the core, you can fuse it to a weapon. And it's pretty good.
I felt really bad because I didn't figure out that that's what you're supposed to do with those. Because, like, you can't pick them up. And so I was like, well, what's this, like, weird... I just thought it was, like just afterbirth of killing the enemy. I didn't realize, like, you could pick it up and fuse it.
So what, you just left it there?
Yeah, I just left it there until I beat, like, whatever they're called, the Talus, and I figured out, and I was like, oh, that's... One more real quick. One more cool place that I just remembered. Goron City. The whole, most of it takes place in a minecart. Like, half of those missions are just you fucking around in a minecart, which was so much fun. It was like a roller coaster. The game is so great! So anyway, let's argue about what our favorite ability is now that we have a limited amount of time. Jeez, we really clickbaited this because we started with it and then talked about a million other things, and now we're getting back to it, like, right at the tail end of the episode. So, Mark, please enlighten us as to why Ascend's the best move in the game.
I've been using Ascend a lot because, first of all, it looks so cool. Like, when it, like, does the thing where it transitions and you're, like, swimming up through, like, nothing. I just think that's really cool. And I like thinking about it from, like, a shader standpoint, because I'm a nerd like that. And then also, it's just a really cool ability. I like that I can, like, go in some cave at the bottom of a mountain and come out at the top of the mountain. I've done some pretty cool puzzles just, like, in the world with them. But for one of the towers, you actually need to do something like I just said. Like you go underneath the tower and then you ascend into it.
There's actually a couple like that. I've encountered 2 so far.
Yeah, but yeah, I like ascend. It's just cool.
Okay. Counterpoint to ascend. You can't get to the Sky Islands with ascend. It doesn't work that far.
Okay.
Counterpoint number 2. I feel like it never works when I want it to. Either the area is too small or it won't spit me out somewhere. I feel like I would say at least like 30% of the time that I want to use ascend, it's a no-go. It's either too high up, too like small. It doesn't get you out of the pinch that I thought it would.
I thought it was 4 pinches.
I don't know, it's not as useful as I thought it would end up to be.
I don't know, I found some pretty good use from it. I haven't had those kinds of problems as much.
So I think fuse is a necessary item. Like I wouldn't say it's the best. I feel like it's necessary. Like I feel like it's something that needed to be included in the second game. Like it feels so empty without it. Recall I think is fun. I think it's really helpful. Like when you fuck things up and you're like, damn it, you can just redo it.
Yeah, I like it. That was really helpful with the Rito mission.
Yeah, it's just it made everything so much like less stressful, which is like just always good to make things like less like it all rides on this. You can just be like, oh shit, I messed it up. So that really gives you more freedom to explore. But I think the best is obviously without a doubt the Ultra Hand. You know, it's the seller. It's the big one. It's basically fuse, and like it does fuse with it, and it's like I think it's the big selling point of the game. You know, like fuse is cool and all, but this is like fuse in the real world. Like you can make all sorts of crazy shit. You can make a robot or like a flying machine or a car or anything your little heart can imagine. Or you could put a bunch of rockets on a Korok. That's really funny. The rockets are just so fun. So as long as you can manipulate the rocket onto something, great move. So that's why I gotta say, Ultra Hand is the best.
Okay, I can respect that.
I don't think it's ever let me. So I guess with that out of the way, with the shortened amount of time, which isn't even that short, we went for 47 minutes and it felt like 5 seconds. Just
yeah, it did.
So much I want to say. I mean, tune in next week. We might just also talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think much will be changed. I don't know. We'll have to come up with like a different topic about it, like what's the best domain or something. I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom is like the only good thing in the world. So if you haven't gotten it yet, fucking get it. It's $70. You know, it's sad.
It is $70 DLC, but it's so worth it.
Why do you say $70 DLC?
That's been like a whole argument among like internet peoples, like that it's like just $70 DLC. I mean, it is, but it's really worth it.
I mean, like, I feel like people are just bastardizing the term DLC to like mean whatever they want. Like, every game is DLC. Like, everything's based off of what fucking Tetris. Like, what
They're making the argument
DLC?
that it's like way too similar to Breath of the Wild.
Those people just obviously haven't played it. I feel like that argument came up before the game did. Like, it's so different. Like, I guess unless you really hate fucking open world traversal or something, which is weird because I feel like Breath of the Wild was one of the first games to get it right. Like, first of all, like, I don't understand why anybody wouldn't want more Breath of the Wild. Like,
yeah.
But anyway, I don't even care that it's $70. I think it's fucking worth every penny. I would pay a lot more for it. Like, just being real, like, don't tell Nintendo that I'd pay a bunch more for it. But if they charge like $150, I'd probably still buy them. So don't tell them I said that, because I want them to keep it at reasonably priced. I hope that this doesn't become the industry standard, which it kind of seems like it might. I don't think they'll make the next Mario game $70, because I don't know what they'd make it. But it definitely, I feel like Nintendo's really putting like all their cards on the table, because like this is what they're truly capable of, and this is a lot better than what many fucking companies are pushing out right now. So I'm glad that we've set a standard, because people always like to talk about like, oh, the death of everything sucks now, but it's like, this is clear proof that it's not. Like, things can still be good, and they will be, as long as we've got fucking games like Zelda coming. So, I mean, do you have any closing remarks that you want to say? Because I realize we're nearing in on the end of your time allotted.
Yeah. No, I'm alright.
Alright, so, thanks everybody so much for listening to the jumbled, ranted mess of Tears of the Kingdom talking about... This is probably exactly what is running through your head, too, if you're a Tears of the Kingdom fan. Thank you, everybody, for listening. New videos out all the time. God, I gotta make more fucking Getting Most Out Switch Online. It'll be fun, I swear. I'll make more videos, make more songs, probably. All sorts of crazy stuff. make sure to tune in, everybody, till next week. Hopefully, we got to get back on this fucking schedule. It's Friday, 7 o'clock. Now we kind of do them whenever, which is bad. So we got to get back on schedule. But that doesn't matter for you because you're the listener. So everybody say goodbye on 3. 1, 2, 3. That includes you, listener. Goodbye. There we go. Another episode down the drain.